Hello, I'm going to show you how my tomatoes are getting on. I planted this year Big Red, which are supposed to be like beefsteak ones, Green Zebra, which are green and stripy, and San Marzano, which are sort of, they're sort of ovally shaped. They're all doing incredibly well. I have been potting them on slowly. They've gone a bit manic, shall we say, and they're growing beautifully, and I've desperately wanted to film them for you as they've been going, but I've been really busy, so they've all got quite large, so I've had to find one that's fairly smallish to show you, because some of them are really quite tall. But what I'm going to do with them now is I'm going to plant them on into 6-inch pots. The last time I showed you, I popped them into 3-inch pots. They're all getting quite tall now, so they need that extra space. I have got a load in the greenhouse, which they're everywhere, and I also have a load outside dotted round the garden. I've not put any down the allotment because blight is a terrible problem with tomatoes down on the allotment, so I didn't want to risk any down there this year. So I've planted them all. I've had to move lots of pots and things like that with that have normal plants in off the patio, so I have a tomatoey garden at the moment. So I'm just going to show you how to pot these on. Right, now they need to go, you can either put these on in their final place, either in a big long grow bag or out in the garden. If you do put them out in the garden in the soil, then space them a good 18 inches apart, preferably more if you can. Or if you're going to do them in pots like I am, then a 6-inch pot is absolutely perfect for them. So make sure that you fill your pot with multi-purpose compost. I'm going to take some of that out actually. There we go. Now when you put your tomato in, it can go a bit lower than it was in the 3-inch pot. There's some plastic in there and I don't know why. But as you can see, the roots are brilliant, absolutely fabulous. They're absolutely jam-packed in there. None of it is falling away because there are so many roots in there. So we will put this as low down as we can get it, and then we will just backfill any of the space. Now when you do put them in a pot, a little tip here, don't fill the soil right to the top. Because if you fill the soil right to the top, when you water, some of it will go down into the soil and the rest will just fall over. So what I suggest you do, this goes for anything that you plant in a pot, give it about a 1/2 inch space between the top of the soil and the top of the pot, and then the water can sit on the top and then gradually drain itself down. Okay, tomatoes you really should water from the bottom and then they pull it up, because if you get water on the stem or on the leaves, then that can cause blight. So it's always best to water them from the bottom, but anything else, just leave that little gap in there. Okay, so there's our tomato all in there. Okay, be aware some tomatoes need side shooting. The side shoot will come out, let me just move this up a bit so hopefully you'll be able to see. This is the main stem here. Okay, then you get the leaf that goes off there. If you get a side shoot, which you most probably will, it will come out in between these two. So it will grow here. Have I got a stick I can use? Oh, here we are. It will grow there. Okay, now some side shoots are good. Some side shoots you need, especially if you're growing bush tomatoes, because the tomatoes come from that side shoot. Okay, so you need to keep those on if you're growing bush ones. But if you're growing cordon ones, which are the ones that grow tall, usually you have to take those off, because they're basically suckers, and they will take all the goodness from the plant and stop the plant producing as many tomatoes as it possibly can. Okay. No, we haven't got any on this one. But the tomatoes themselves will grow from a different string, so you just have a different sort of stem. So you just have to, I would suggest every 2 weeks just to go around to your tomatoes and just check. If you're unsure, ask. But the basic rule is, if it's a bush one, don't take the side shoots out. If it's a tall one, then you do. Okay, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Now what I'll do is I'll water those tomatoes in. I will start to stake them because they will get very, very heavy, so make sure that when you stake them they are securely staked. Otherwise the weight of the tomatoes will pull the plant over. So just keep an eye on that. You can either use little twisty bits of wire, or I prefer to use garden twine because it's softer on the stem. Okay. Once the flowers start to appear on your tomatoes, then you can start feeding them. Don't feed them before, because if you feed them before the flowers start to appear, then you'll just get so many leaves. It's ridiculous. Okay, so you must wait to feed them, either with tomato feed, or if you have anything special, or I use seaweed fertilizer. So just bear that in mind. Wait till the flowers start to appear. But I will carry on doing this, but I'll have a little break because it's getting rather warm in the greenhouse. And I'll go and have a drink, come back, do some more. Gosh, it's warm. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.